Welcome to What the Tech, the show where we absolutely cut through the hype. Today, we are diving into a huge story about AI and the job market. You know, everyone's talking about it, but not everyone is really getting it. And look, this isn't just another robots are taking our jobs scare piece. Nope. This is about a fundamental change in how companies think about hiring. And it all starts with one single massive number.
4 million. Just let that sink in for a second. That's how many Gen Zers are not in a job, not in school, not in any kind of training right now. I mean, that is a staggering number. It points to this huge gap between a whole generation that's ready to get to work and a workforce that, well, might not have a spot for them. So the big question is, why is this happening right now?
Well, the answer comes straight from a career coach who's inside the boardrooms of Fortune 500 companies. He's basically a fly on the wall, and he's confirming what a lot of us have suspected. The top brass, they're slamming the brakes on entry-level hires. And you know who they're blaming? They are pointing the finger directly at AI.
Okay, so what's the official line here? Let's unpack the logic that CEOs are actually using to justify putting a freeze on the next generation of workers. The argument coming from the C-suite is honestly pretty simple. Why on earth would a company spend months on a ton of cash training a new grad when by the time they're even up to speed, some AI tool could do their job cheaper, faster, and, without ever needing a coffee break? It really is just a cold, hard calculation of return on investment.
So, in response to all this, you've got tech leaders and coaches offering up a playbook for the new generation. What's their advice for, well, surviving and even thriving when all the traditional doors seem to be closing?
The very first piece of advice is to completely shift your mindset. Seriously, it's not about your shiny degree or your credentials anymore. It's all about finding a company's pain point and showing up as the immediate solution. The deals become really simple. You create value from day one, and they pay you for it. The jobs now exist where the value is immediate.
And of course, billionaire Mark Cuban takes it a step further. He argues that the single biggest opportunity for Gen Z is to become the company's in-house AI guru. See, your value isn't just what you can do, it's your ability to teach the older, maybe less tech-savvy generations how to use these powerful new tools to actually make the business better.
And NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, he frames it as a really simple black and white choice. AI isn't some monster coming to eat your job. No, the real threat is the person next to you who learns how to use AI to become 10 times more productive than you are. The message could not be clearer. You either adapt or you're going to get left behind. So, okay, that's the official story. And it sounds logical, right? Almost inevitable. Just learn AI, solve problems, you'll be fine. But here at What the Tech, we cut through the hype. So what if AI isn't the real cause of this massive shift? What if it's actually just the perfect corporate cover story for something else entirely?
And this, my friends, brings us to the real analysis. We are going way beyond the press release to look at the strategic, bottom-line motivations that are driving this trend. This is the unvarnished truth.
So you've got two narratives playing out. Publicly, the story is all about tech evolution. But privately, it is all about two timeless corporate goals, slashing costs, and avoiding the risk that comes with an unproven hire. The analysis is crystal clear. AI is simply the best excuse they've had in decades to do what they've always wanted to do.
This whole strategic shift has one massive casualty, that decades-old idea of a company investing in raw talent, with the expectation of a long-term payoff down the road. Yeah, that model is being taken apart piece by piece.
And this is the critical shift, right here. We are moving from a world where companies hire you for your potential to a world where they demand immediate ROI. That old apprenticeship model, where a company would invest in you for maybe a year before you were even fully productive, that's being replaced by a plug-and-play model. The on-ramp for an entire generation is being systematically torn up. So let's go back and look at Mark Cuban's advice again, but through this new lens. Teach the boss AI. I mean, it sounds empowering, right? But the analysis suggests it's not really about your career path. It's about a power dynamic where your main function is to be a temporary human plug-in to make senior staff more productive. Your job is to make someone else look good.
And make absolutely no mistake, this is not just about Gen Z. This is a trial balloon for a completely new labor model. It's a brand new playbook that could, and probably will, eventually affect every single one of us in the workforce.
This basically lays out the new rules of the game. We are barreling towards a future with fewer permanent jobs and way more project-based contractors who are all expected to bring their own AI tools to the table. Experience is suddenly everything, but the paths to get that first bit of experience, they're vanishing.
So the takeaway for your career couldn't be clearer. The entire concept is being flipped on its head. I mean, forget the career ladder. The new model is all about the project portfolio. Your goal is no longer to get trained, it's to prove over and over again that you can deliver value immediately from one project to the next.
And all of this leaves us with one final and pretty provocative thought. This strategy of just chopping off the entry-level pipeline is a clear short-term win for the corporate balance sheet. I get it. But if nobody is training the next generation of lawyers or coders or managers, what happens in 5 or 10 years when that pipeline of talent just runs completely dry? What happens next?